All right, good morning, everyone. We're now in our second quarter, and this will be our first lesson for the second quarter of advanced physics subject. So, our learning competency or the objective of our lesson for today is first, we have to draw the schematic diagram of forces in translational equilibrium. And this is also present in your learning activity sheet that I have uploaded to you last Sunday. And number two is to solve forces in translational equilibrium. So first, before we start our lesson, let's have to focus on this drawing. Just ano lang, tawag ka ang pasensyahan nyo lang ang aking drawing because I'm not a good artist in drawing. So the question is that why is it that the object with that certain weight remains at that certain position? Do you think? Anybody you can answer? Let's have from um, you're not opening your cam. Can you open your cam, please? Guile, do you think what's the reason why the object is in that certain position? Look at the drawing. The drawing is there is an object hang using with a certain cord on a certain ceiling. And for example, your chandelier. Why is it that the object remains at that certain position? Who can answer? Jamila, do you have any idea? Jamila? Who can help Jamila?
Kay ginakuan ta na sir.
What? Again?
May nagahawig ka na sir na cord.
May gahawid ka ng cord. Okay. Some other answer? Kerwick, do you have any idea?
Because of the tension, sir.
Because of the tension. What does the tension did on the object? Other answer? We have Kiara. Kiara, are you there? Kiara. Others are not using their cam. Okay, let's have some from Sheena. Sheena. Kaina ang bada because binagahawid. And then Kerwick because there is a tension. So my question is, how does it, or what's the purpose of the tension? Or other answer. Now, why is it that the object is in that certain position? Basta may mga idea ka mo dyan, you can answer.
Gravity, sir.
It's because of the gravity. Okay, how does the gravity affects the object? If there will be a gravity, of course, tendency is that it will fall. So what's the purpose of the gravity, which is the weight of the object, and the tension? You describe the two.
May equilibrium, sir.
Okay. You said it is in equilibrium. Now, our lesson for today, class, is all related to that. Why objects are hung and stayed in that certain position. And it is related on the term equilibrium. So once we talk about equilibrium, what do you mean by the term equilibrium? In math, what's the symbol of equilibrium? Renz.
It is the state of balance, sir.
Okay, it's a state of balance once we talk about equilibrium. And what's the symbol of medical symbol for equilibrium in math? Acacia. May plus sign ka for addition. May multiplication sign ka for the multiplication. You have the division sign. How about for the equilibrium for math? Miss Delisay, I am talking to you. Who can help Miss Delisay? Romel, ano ang symbol for math?
The equal sign, sir.
Okay, that's correct. The equal sign. So the equal sign is the symbol for equilibrium in math. So once we talk about equilibrium, it's a state of balance. There will be a balance between the two objects. Okay, it is in the state of equilibrium. Now, before we proceed with our lesson, let's review first our lesson in our mechanics, which is on the laws of motion of Newton. And we'll be focusing on the first law of Newton. Again, who can state what is the first law of Newton? Anybody can state the first law of Newton? Just give me a quite small idea about the first law. Lyndon, do you have any idea of the first law? Of course, it was discussed in the grade 8 lesson. Ano kaya natin first law of Newton? Term as what? Ay, nalipatan na rin ang first law.
Inertia, sir.
Okay, it's the law of inertia. Okay, ano ang ginahambal, or once we're talking about the law of inertia, what do you mean by this?
The ability of an object to remain at rest, sir.
Okay, an object will remain at rest. Is it an object only under at rest? How about an object in motion? How about the object in motion? Of course. The ability of what?
The ability of the object to remain in a constant motion unless acted upon by an opposing force.
Okay, the term here is constant. There. Means, once we talk about constant, what do you mean by this? Term is constant. So kung bakit ang constant, what do you mean by this? Anong ginanamin natin?
It remains the same, sir.
It remains the same. Okay. Once it is constant, it remains the same. So the first law is telling us that an object at rest will just remain at rest, and an object in motion will just continue to move unless acted upon by a certain net force. Okay, the term is unless acted upon by a certain net force. The term here is, and again, we review the net force, or we have a symbol F net. What is the meaning of the net force? Net.
Summation
Correct.
of the forces
Summation
applied to an object.
Correct. It is the summation with the symbol of forces applied on the object. So now, if the object is in constant and an object doesn't change its motion, what is the net force acting on the system? Therefore,
Zero.
correct. The net force acting in the system is zero. That is the meat of the first law of Newton. The first law of Newton is telling us if all of the forces was summed up, or if we're going to sum up all of the forces acting on that certain object, and the total forces acted on the system is equal to zero, we are in the first law. Or we term this as balanced forces. Balanced forces, because if you sum up it all, the answer will be equal to zero. So that's how we relate the first law of Newton, how we discuss about the first law of Newton. So the total net force acting on the system is equal to zero, and that is a balanced force or balanced forces. Okay, and now that is because we have this term equilibrium. So our lesson for today, class, which is translational or linear equilibrium, is actually the application of the first law of Newton, which is the law of inertia. So if you will have an object hang at a certain wall, as you can see here, this object remains at rest. It doesn't move, it doesn't go up, it doesn't move down because of the tension which is moving upward, that's the force, the tension, and the weight, which is moving downward, are just actually equal. So if we are going to sum up the forces here, the net force here will be tension minus the weight will be equal to 0. Why we subtract? Because the direction of the weight is downward. And remember our lesson in vector analysis, components of vector. Once an object, or once the force or a vector is moving in a negative direction, you have to put it as a negative sign, or you put a negative sign on the magnitude of the force. So if the tension and the weight are equal, so therefore, if the weight is moving downward and the tension is moving upward, the tension is positive and the weight is negative, and the net force will be equal to 0. So that's why these objects will be at rest. So if we are treating our forces as a vector quantity, our forces as a summation in the x-axis. So it has a component of the force in the x, and if it is in equilibrium, it must be equal to 0. That is the condition that we have to remember in the translational equilibrium. Likewise, the summation in the forces in the y must be all equal to 0 also. So if you sum up all of the forces in the x, the answer will be 0. And if you sum up all of the forces in the y, the answer is equal to 0. Any question with that? Is it clear? Okay. If still have question, you just raise your hand. So that's how simple our lesson is. Linear equilibrium means that the total net force acting in the system is all equal to 0. That's why it is in the equilibrium. And it is actually following the rule or the law of inertia, which is the translational equilibrium is the best application of the first law of Newton. So let's have to try some sample problem to solve. Let's have your sample problem number 1. So in sample problem number 1, we have this object. Okay, and this one is, sorry, this one is 60, and this one is 37 degrees. Okay, that one is 60 and 37. Wait lang ha. Okay. Now, the question here is that if the weight is equal to 100 Newton, and we have tension 1 here and tension 2. So we have 2 tensions. The question is, what are the tension in this example? So what must be tension 1 and tension 2 to achieve equilibrium so that that 100 Newton object will just remain at that position if it is hung at a certain ceiling or object? So that's the question. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to draw our free body diagram. So the free body diagram will actually focusing on the connection of the 3 forces. So the 3 forces are here. This is the connection. So Chandra, so you are going to draw the free body diagram. So the free body diagram, you draw a Cartesian plane. It's the best thing that you have to remember. And then let's have first to draw the first vector. So the first force, I mean. So the first force is moving upward. Now, if this is 60 degrees, definitely this one is also 60 degrees. This is 60 degrees. So you will have your component in the x, which is tension 1x, y, I mean, sorry. And you will have the component in the x, which is tension x or tension 1x. So that will be your vector 1 or force 1. Your force 2, which is tension 2, will be right over here. And if this is 37, this one is also 37 degrees. And you will have tension 2y, and you will have again tension 2x. And the last force is your weight, which is the weight which is directed downward. So that is now your free or schematic diagram of the forces involved in this problem. So our task here is to solve for the tension 1 and tension 2 so that this 100 Newton of weight will be at that certain position if hung at that certain angle. Okay, now let's solve for the following x and y components of each of the force. So let's start with tension 1. We have tension 1. Let's change it into black. Okay, we have tension 1, x. So as you can see, your tension x, tension 1x is adjacent to your angle. Definitely you will have the equation tension cosine 60. There's no need for me to discuss that because it was just already discussed when you're in grade 9 about vector quantity. And we have tension 1y will be equal to tension sine 60 degrees. But look at the direction of your tension 1x. Your tension 1x is moving to the negative direction, which is on the west direction. So definitely this will be on the negative sign. Because if you're going to put it on the Cartesian plane, which is in the x and y axis, it falls in the negative x axis. So the tension there or the sign there will be negative. So let's go to tension 2x. Your tension 2x will be equal to tension, this is 1, 1. Tension 2 cosine 37 degrees. And your tension 2y will be equal to tension 2 sine 37 degrees. So that will be your tension 2y. Now, how about your weight? So your weight class, your weight x is 0 because as you can see, there is no there's no weight moving to the x direction because all of the weight is moving downward. So it is downward moving to the negative y direction. So therefore your weight here is in negative sign. Okay. So that is now your summary of your forces in the x and y component. So let's now have to sum up all of the forces in the x. So what are the forces in the x? Summation of the forces in the x. So we have negative tension 1 cosine 60 plus tension 2 cosine 37 equals 0. Because we have to sum up it all with 0 because there is no x-axis in the weight part of the force. So let's have your Fy. Your Fy will be tension 1 sine 60 degrees plus tension 2 sine 37 degrees minus weight equals 0. Okay, so that will be your equation number 2. The third part class of the third step on solving this is that we have to use your algebraic processes. The transposition, the substitution, the elimination. I hope you remember that when you were in grade 8. So there are 2 equations given. So if there are 2 equations given and there are 2 unknown variables that are given, so we could use substitution here. Now let's have to transpose first and to substitute. So let's focus first on equation number 1 or equation of our x component. So we will get the value of tension 2 here. So what will be the value of the tension 2? So tension 2 cosine 37 degrees will be equal to tension 1 cosine 60 degrees. Why? We transposition. We transfer this to the other side of the equation. It's from negative, it becomes positive. And then I know you know it already in your math. And let's have to get the value of tension 2. So tension 1 cosine 60 divided by cosine 37. So that will be the value of your tension 2. Now, with the process of substitution, the tension 2 here in equation number 2 for the forces in the y will be replaced with this equation. So therefore, you will have all tension 1. So pwede tayo ma-solve. Okay? So let's replace. So we have tension 1 sine 60 degrees plus tension 1 cosine 60 all over cosine 37, okay, times sine 37 equals, wait, yun is lang tadya ay, which changes 1 with this equation. So, using your calculator, you are going to solve it. Using the calculator, i-solve natin. So let's have sine 60, and that's 0.86. So we have 0.866, that's tension 1, plus, let's have from cosine 60 divided by 37 cosine, multiplied to 37 sine, and that is 0.38 or 0.377. 0.377 tension 1. And that will be equal to weight. Okay? So, let's have to add the 2. So, 0.866 plus 0.377, and your answer is 1.243 tension 1, which is equal to 100 Newton. Okay, so your tension 1 will be equal to, what? Here. So your tension 1 will be equal to 100 Newton divided by 1.243. So your tension 1 will be equal to, so you divide that, 100 divided by 1.243, and the answer is 80.45. So this one is 80.45 Newton. So that will be your tension 1. How about for tension 2? Let's answer. So that will be 80.45 multiplied to 60 cosine divided by 37 cosine, and your answer is 50. So this one is 50 Newton. So your answer is tension 2 is 50 and tension 1 is 80. Basi masyak ka mga lain natin yung sabat baliskad because I exchange the tension 1 and 2 into iba akong pag-draw kumpara sa atin nga ano, pero the same naman ang sabat sa atin nga example. So you just follow the process here, and that's how we come up with that equation. Okay, so you can have the screenshot of it, and I will proceed to the next example. Okay, next screenshot rin. So let's have the second example. Now, in the second example, we have here. We have a box, no? So we have a ladder here, and there is a certain strut. We have a strut right over here. This is a strut, and then okay, there is a string right over here, and a weight hang on it, a box hang on it, and the box weight here is also 100 Newton. Okay, now if this one, the cable is angled to the strut, which is 30 degrees, the question here is that we have to solve, okay, find the tension in the cable supporting the strut. okay, in the cable supporting the strut under the assumption that the strut's weight is negligible. So this one is negligible weight. Okay, this one. So we have to solve for this tension. Okay, that's our main purpose. So let's have first to draw our free body diagram. So let's have the free body diagram. Let's have first the tension. And the tension is moving upward. And this is 30 degrees. So you will have your tension Y and you will have your tension X. The next you will have your strut. Your strut is in this direction. So this one is your FS, your strut. And then the last one is the weight. And the weight is moving downward here. There. So that's the weight. So now, first we will going to get the X and Y components of your tension. We will be focusing on that, the X and Y components. So let's have tension X will be equal to, again, it's negative tension cosine 30 degrees. And your tension Y will be equal to tension sine 30 degrees. Now, your Fs, you will have only your X component, which is your Fs, but your Y component, force in the strut, is 0 because there is no forces in the Y-axis for the strut. We have your weight X is 0, while your weight Y is negative weight. So first, let's have to sum up all the forces again in the X component. So we have the summation in the forces of the X, which is equal to negative tension cosine 30 degrees plus your Fs, which is equal to 0. And you will have also summation in the Fy, which is equal to tension sine 30 degrees minus weight equals 0. So we are only after for the tension. And you can see the weight is already given. And this equation number 2 here, Fy, can be already substantial, or it's already substantial to give us the answer for the tension because the tension is a known and the weight is known. So kung talaga natin mathematically, we can solve the problem. So let's have it. Tension sine 30 degrees equals the weight. So tension will be equal to the weight, which is 100 Newton, all over sine 30. So the tension will be equal to, so let's solve. So that will be 100 divided by 30 sine, and that is 200, I mean. So the tension here is equal to 200 Newton. So the tension must be 200 Newton. So if the problem will ask you, about the Fs, so what will be the force exerted by the strut? So we can focus with this equation. Fs will be equal to tension cosine 30 degrees. And the Fs will be equal to 200 multiplied to cosine 30. And your Fs will be equal to, so your strut is giving a force of 200 times 30 cosine. And that is 173.2 or 173 Newton. So this will be the force exerted by the strut, and it is the force exerted by the cord or by the cable. All right, so I hope that it is clear, and we will still have the last example, but I am running out of time, and I'll be making again another meeting for the last example. Okay, so just hold on, class. You can screenshot first. All right. I'll make another meeting.